This is a conversation that I felt like I needed to have last week, but God said no. He ended the live early. But we back. We back, baby. Shout out to FEMA. Now, we've been holding FEMA accountable ever since. Well, we've been holding FEMA accountable for a long time. But FEMA had recently come back into the spotlight because of the hurricanes. Remember those? We got a short memory, guys. But I'm going to bring it back up to you guys to remember and show you that we are not going anywhere. We're going to continue to beat it down with a hammer. Now, again, FEMA was brought to the front of the congregation because of what was happening during Hurricane Helene and Milton. And it was during the presidential election cycle. And so what happened was Kamala Harris was out there gallivanting and taking photo ops. And they was telling people that they was only going to give them $700 and $750 loan, even though you paid into the tax system, and people were outraged. They were outraged. That's my tiger noise. You don't like the tiger noise? What other kind of tiger noise do we give, though? Is that a lion or a tiger? Or is that a sick baboon? Anyways, recently this woman, somebody of your own ilk, somebody that looks like you, decided that they wanted to deny the American people. That's a cub. Like a dungeon dragon. I know what a lion and a tiger sound like. Maybe not a Siberian tiger. Anyways, this woman was recently fired, and she's saying that she's been used as a scapegoat from FEMA to deny Trump supporters and people with Trump signs on their lawns their rightful due and their rightful justice. Check it out.
We keep having this messaging coming out of these agencies, especially during the Biden-Harris administration, that, there's nothing to see here. With regards to FEMA, they are being now presented with evidence that they were treating people differently based on their partisan views. That is an incredible discovery in the United States of America. And so, of course, you're going to have an investigation. We're not going to wait.
Well, FEMA insisting that the case of an agency...
Y'all not... Hold on, wait. First of all, before we get into this woman explaining herself, y'all not going to tell me that I'm sounding like Shannon Sharp when he was having sex. No, that's... They said I sound like... Oh, he said, come here, Michelle. Come here. Come here, Michelle. That's what he said. When he turned his phone on to try to prove that he wasn't gay. Come here, Michelle. Come here, Michelle. Oh. Shannon! Was it Michelle or was it Michael? No, that's just a joke. Don't worry about it. Let's continue. FEMA worker denied Trump people help. Let's get to it.
Supervisor telling relief workers to avoid Trump campaign signs at homes during disaster response is an isolated incident. Let's bring in the FEMA official who was fired over the incident, but claims she has been made a scapegoat. Marne, Washington. Marne, thank you so much for coming on. I want to read this because this is from the FEMA administrator, Deanne Criswell. She said this, and she's talking about you. She said, quoting here, recently, a FEMA employee departed from these values to advise her survivor assistance team.
I can't do the show if y'all telling jokes in the chat. They said it wasn't Michael, it was Mitchell.
To not go to homes with yard signs supporting President-elect Trump. This was reprehensible. I want to be clear to all of my employees and the American people, this type of behavior and action will not be tolerated at FEMA. You say this is not your policy. You're not political. You don't care about the right or the left. You are simply doing your job and following your orders. So you're telling...
There's very few black women that you're going to find anywhere, especially corporate black women that are not absolutely staunch Democratic liberal supporters.
Telling me these orders came from somebody above.
Correct. When I first reported to Florida, I was already on another team. I was there as a specialist. This was the culture. They were already avoiding these homes based on...
All right, it's almost 7,000 people in here on YouTube alone. Can we get the likes up? That's y'all price of admission. We don't ask for much. We ask you to make sure if you've been here more than once to subscribe and turn on your notifications and send this to your family and friends. But also make sure you hit a like, at least hit the like. You know what I'm saying? That's all we ask for. Not much. Let's get to it.
Community trends from hostile political encounters. It has nothing to do with the campaign sign. It just so happened to be part of the community trend. When you focus in on the campaign sign, you are violating the Hatch Act. So that is something that FEMA definitely wants to stay away from, because it was created in 1939, and that was to protect citizens from being alienated based on their political stance.
So just so we're clear, you're saying that basically FEMA was doing this out of safety. They were doing that safe because they had some adversarial conflicts with some people with Trump signs in their front yards. So they banned every Trump sign. They said, don't go to any homes with Trump signs. And if that's the case, why would they come down so hard on you? Why are you the scapegoat? Why are you the one they're saying was, quote, reprehensible for actually putting this in place when you did not put this in place?
Sounds like discrimination to me. So you're telling me, because they didn't say stay away from people with political signs. The mandate was, according to what she's saying, stay away from any place that got a Trump sign on it. So wait a minute, I thought y'all said that black people couldn't be racist. I thought y'all said that that was a system in favor of white people. So regular, everyday folks, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever it is that you want to identify as, girl, boy, lady boy, boy, girl, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, why they only call it lady boys? How come they don't call it boily girls or something like that too? We need to get a name for that. But stay away from everybody that got a Trump sign. So y'all not tripping about the little fairy that's going to come out there with his booty shorts on. You know, I got a neighbor that recently moved next to me. And I pulled up, because I hadn't been to that property in a long time. I pulled up and I said, man, that lady got some hairy legs. That is this, and it's the honest to God truth. I said, man, that lady got some hairy legs. Whoa. He turned around, he said, what's going on? I was like, oh, he had a dress on. I ain't tripping. Listen, if you want to wear makeup, he had on full head of makeup. He had short hair, never had a wig on, short hair. And dude looked like a lady. Had on short hair, had that dress on. It was sagging in the front because he ain't had no titties, but he was wearing it. Had on straight up heels and everything. I was working on his car. Said, you working on your car with a dress on, dog? Hey, I'm new to the neighborhood. And whenever they say that, they say their H is real hard. Hey, I'm new to the neighborhood. What you been sucking on? That's the first thing that come to my mind in particular. And again, I don't discriminate. I think that people should be able to do what they want to do. So, not your breath stinking outside. You can't have your breath stinking outside with the elements. Usually that's something that you get trapped in the car with. Hey, I'm new to the neighborhood. I said, Welcome to the neighborhood. And you start breathing out your mouth instead of your nose. You can't discriminate against people just because they got a Trump sign in front of their house, okay?
What's reprehensible is they're not being transparent. Why is this coming down on me? I am the person that jotted down the notes from my superiors, and my notation in Teams chat was exposed from their surge capacity team. that's exactly what happened, and it's easy to then say, well, haha, it's her name, it's her writing.
Right.
Make her accountable for it. But I'm just simply executing, again,
I'm going to invite y'all to my stand-up improv show. It's going to be great, I promise you.
I'm from my superiors.
Right. And I'm wondering, because it says things like when on this list that says avoid the Trump houses, drink water, take rest breaks. So there's a list of things. You didn't come up with those either, right?
No.
So you didn't come up with any of this list. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, sir.
And I'm wondering, how do you prove that, Marne? You're trying to save your reputation. How do you prove that this order came from above?
Well, the last time that question was posed, I verbally called on all DSA crew leads and specialists that are still active with FEMA and former to come forward and discuss our avoidance policies, our de-escalation policies. Because to be honest with you, we don't just skip I know the highlight here is the Trump campaign signage, but if someone is in another, like an urban community, and it's a different culture and someone feels uncomfortable, we can't go to that home. If you have loose dogs and someone on the team is comfortable with dogs and another person is not, we can't go to that home.
She compared going to a home with dogs to people having Trump signs. How do you compare going to a home that got dogs, vicious dogs in the home or in the fence, to people that got Trump signs? That makes no sense whatsoever. But I will shoot her a little bit of bail. And this is the bail that I want to shoot her. I don't believe that she's the only one, nor do I believe that the mandate is only from her. I believe that she's executing on a mandate that was given to her that she also maybe agreed with. And I do believe that she is a scapegoat, but I don't think that she's absolved from the responsibility of calling it out, because y'all want to stand on business when it comes to anything else in the community. No matter what it is, you're going to stand on business. I don't like the way that my supervisor talked to me because he seemed racist because he said it a little more aggressive than usual. I'm calling a whistleblower act. You stand on business when it comes to anything else. So when you see a mandate that comes down that's clearly discriminatory, you don't say nothing and you just do your job. But now all of a sudden you want to be speaking out because it wasn't me. It didn't come from me. No, you were a participant. You were a participant in something that you knew you was wrong about. And so everybody want to stand on business when it comes to doing the right thing at their job until it comes to them with something that they agree with. Then you became a scapegoat. Nope, I don't think that she's the only one. I do believe that FEMA as an organization is absolutely in shambles and it's trash. It needs to be revamped. Somebody get J.D. Vance in there. Somebody get FDA, FGR, ABC, DFG, RFK Jr. Somebody go in and fix FEMA, because there's no reason in the world why this mandate should even exist, let alone it even be executed on by somebody that I believe agreed with this mandate. Now, she went on Fox News in order to try to save her reputation and say, nope, it wasn't me, it was somebody else. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all.
Because of safety precautions.
So you feared the Trump houses. The people on FEMA were fearing the Trump houses like they were fearing people with vicious dogs in their backyard.
Exactly.
And she said exactly. She didn't even think twice. Think about what you're saying. Listen to how he broke this down and then look at what she just agreed to. She didn't even think twice.
That home because of safety precautions.
So you feared the Trump houses. The people on FEMA were fearing the Trump houses like they were fearing people with vicious dogs in their backyard.
Exactly.
You were fearing people with Trump signs in front of their house in the same way that you were fearing people with vicious dogs in their house.
And that's based on the trends. You can ask FEMA for incident reports. They have those because they ask us to report out if there's an incident at home. And unfortunately, again, the passionate supporters for Trump, some of them were a little bit violent.
But all of them were painted with the same broad brush. All of them as being, we're not going to go near these because we think they're all bad people.
No, because some were registered. Some did receive case inquiries and updates.
Yeah.
Some of them came outside and said, "Hi, I appreciate what you're doing. I would like to participate." And then some were very vocal and firm that they didn't want anything to do with FEMA, and they thought that we were crooks.
And lastly, we've got to go. We're running out of time here. Did this also happen in other places? This was Florida, but did it happen in North Carolina? Did it happen in other places?
Georgia as well. Just ask the crew leads and the
She's talking
specialists.
all of the business.
They will discuss their avoidance and their de-escalation methods in the field. And
Okay.
I think Ms. Criswell would be happy to know what's going on.
So she got fired, and now she's throwing everybody else under the bus. That's the conclusion that we can come to on this one.